Hi, budding lawyers, Prasanna Naidu here. And today we have advocate Manal Shah. Sorry, not an advocate yet. She is a law student who runs a security law blog. Now, some of y'all may be wondering what is security law because many of the law students don't know about it. And she runs a blog on it. So we'll know something about it, and we have some questions on it. So, Manal, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Prasanna. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Manal, and I run the securitiesblog.in, where I write blog posts covering aspects of securities law.
Okay, Manal. So, securities law, interesting topic it looks. So, what is securities law? Can you explain our viewers in a bit?
So, securities law is, it can very simply be called investment law, uh, except that securities law basically involves capital markets, but also other securities. Capital markets is a term used for stock exchanges and listed securities, whereas the broader term securities connotes even unlisted securities and does have an interlinking with private equity and venture capital, seed funding, crowdfunding, and many other things. So basically, securities law governs all things investment law, and that's basically it.
Yeah. Okay. So, thanks for the brief introduction. Now we'll move on to what made you start this blog. Was there any idea like you had planned it or something suddenly made you start it?
Nothing particularly planned as such, but I've always been interested in writing and reading, and I think all of us just do write during law school. It's a part of law school to write, be it long articles, research articles, anything. While blogs are not particularly what is advised or recommended by professors or your seniors, I think my journey into blogging was it basically came to me because I was interested so much in securities law. It was the subject that brought me to blogging rather than the concept of blogging per se. So when I found myself when I found that securities law picked my interest a lot, I, decided to write about it. And I remember writing my first blog post that got posted on India Corp Law. So that gave me some confidence that I can certainly write. And I thought of writing more in-depth articles. However, at that point in time, which is August 2018, there weren't a lot of law journals or law reports that were dedicated to securities law. Of course, there are law reports and law journals that are basically generally corporate law, but nothing for, securities law specifically. So at that point in time, I just decided to start blogging. And this was also not supposed to be so public. It was more like my way of learning and understanding topics that I didn't know much about. Like if I, for example, come across a topic during my internship, let's say golden shares. So I would probably like read up on it. I will explore it and write a blog post on it. Just because I don't understand it, I ended up exploring it, studying it, and eventually gaining enough understanding and writing about it.
So you wanted others to know as well the topic.
Yeah, in a way, initially it wasn't going to be as public as it is right now. So honestly, I was not thinking about any audience in my mind at back then. Obviously, it has changed now. Now the content is also getting more audience centric. But back then, honestly, it was just basics of securities law. If you look back, the articles were relatively much more basic. So blogging was just a way to, write.
How did you actually start? If any of the viewers want to start a blog, what would you suggest?
So it's not that difficult to start a blog. All you have to do is go on to any of the host platforms. There's a lot of free websites like Google has Weebly, then there's obviously WordPress, then there's Wix. Wix is the one that I'm using. And all of these host platforms, it's basically, it just takes 3 or 4 steps and probably 20 minutes to start a blog. And you don't have to do anything additional. All you have to do is just choose how your website's layout is going to look, what are the colors that you want, the theme, the patterns, and that's about it. The content that you post on your blog, it's really all you have to do is just paste it there. at this point of time with all the host platforms. It's very easier. It's very easy to do that. So it's you just have to put yourself out there. I think it's all you have to do is take a step forth and just start blogging. It's really not that difficult. I think,
Many people,
however, yeah.
many people think that to start a blog, you need some computer knowledge, web designing, and all. So, do you think people must know that those things, or you can start it without that knowledge too?
I think a very basic understanding of how to use internet, laptop, and bit of SEO, which also you learn by searching about it online. It's not really that you require any specific knowledge of web designing. It's thanks to all these host platforms, life is a lot easier. I personally do not have any knowledge about web designing, or I relied completely on Wix for all of my website requirements. And I think whatever things that you don't know, or so long as you have a laptop and internet, you can just find about it and sort your problems. So it's really very easy to start blogging. So I think, however, the challenge about blogging, rather, it's not starting, it is continuing and, maintaining it. That is what is more difficult.
At first, it is
So,
starting, but once you start, it is continuing.
exactly. And I think so, into that tune, I believe when you start blogging, the bigger concerns should be setting a theme for your blog or your website, deciding the kind of content you're going to post and how regularly are you going to post. Whether do you have the time to dedicate to it or not? Are you going to be sharing it? Are you ready to make sure your content is more SEO centric as well? So these are the concerns I believe that are more relevant to challenges to blogging, and that's also not that difficult. So
Okay, blogging is necessary for lawyers. Like, how important it is for lawyers? Can you tell you something about it?
So from a lawyer's perspective, I believe blogging is important for several reasons. First is knowledge management. A lot of law firms do already have a pretty strong knowledge management, and this is important from two perspectives. One is PR, but a more important reason is that when you have already graduated law school, and I'm saying this from a law student perspective, I think it's important to keep in touch with the research paper writing and exploring a particular topic in detail with its intricacies and with your added experience that you've gained as a working professional. I think it adds up to being a pretty helpful and valuable literature that should be read. So that would also in turn help gain clientele, because you're out there, you're putting your research out there. So if there's a potential client per se, for example, who wants a specific advice with regards to some blog post that you've covered, they know they can come to you, they know they can rely on you since you've written on it. And also I believe it helps you gain credibility over time as well.
So, in short, we can say that blogging will help you not only improve your knowledge regarding that subject by research and all, but also improving your networking and marketing, right?
Certainly.
So, but why a blog? Because you have other platforms too, right? There is Quora, there is LinkedIn, where you can add a blog post, a certain post with images, videos, and all stuff. Then why people need, like lawyers need to have a blog, or do they really need to have a separate blog?
It's not really a requirement per se, and law firms and lawyers usually have their own firm websites or lawyer websites or some other platform to write. And I'm not undermining the credibility of LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has certainly been monumental to me reaching out to how many ever number of followers that I have today. LinkedIn is responsible for that, but that has been more in context of sharing the content rather than writing it on LinkedIn. And I have certainly seen articles that people have posted on LinkedIn, but when you look at it from a broader perspective, LinkedIn is just one of the social media platforms to write, and there are several other platforms. That's obviously, like you said, Quora, there's Medium, and there's many other platforms. But I believe there's a different value for there being a dedicated space for all of that work, which does not get lost under all the other posts that you have with regard to all the other things in the world. All of your content is there, categorized and present in one space, and that also helps.
Yeah,
And also another thing that I think lawyers would benefit by just having blogs dedicated would be that you can see the response that it is generating. You can see the kind of content that the public is responding to, the kind of content that they're not, and decide on how to go about it as well.
and your post in LinkedIn is accessible to your LinkedIn followers or who are in LinkedIn only, but who are not on LinkedIn can access your blog as well.
Exactly.
So that is
Certainly.
one. Thanks, Manal, for explaining us this blogging concept. And yeah, guys, I've made a video already on blogging for beginners. So you can click it here somewhere on the card or on the end screen at the end of the video and watch that video as well. If you like the video, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Anything else, Manal? Do you want to say something?
Yeah. So this is the last bit. Basically, that blogging is not really very difficult, and it's also alternatively a very effective medium of reaching out to all sorts of audiences that you want to. And you just have to put yourself out there and let the audience decide. So just do that. Go ahead and keep writing.
Like, share, and
Subscribe.
subscribe to the channel, Budding Lawyers, and also hit that bell icon for the notifications. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye. Bye, Manal.
Bye.